Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Menzo, this is my forever co-host Jom. Today we go back to Hogwarts with Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, Expecto Patronum. But yeah, this is regarded as the best of the Harry Potters, and I honestly have to rewatch everything just to see where it stands, because it's been a while since I've seen all of the Harry Potters.
I kind of have to somewhat agree on it. I still like Goblet of Fire a little bit more.
Okay.
But I have to agree, this is the best one.
Yeah.
Like cohesive story-wise, I'm like, I could get behind this, and it's such a... Not really a 180, but let's say they moved a little, like 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Towards the darker side.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter universe, which is like a very interesting shift because around that time, if you grew up in Harry Potter, if you were 10 by the time Harry Potter came out, you're around the same age as Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You would have turned 14 once this came out. And once you hit your teenage years, you're getting a little bit more of the angst, you're getting a little bit more of the darker tones of of this world. And I'm like, I can get behind it.
Yeah, this is made by one-time Harry Potter director Alfonso Cuarón, who made stuff like Gravity, I believe, and Children of Men. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, this, if anyone were to like nudge Harry Potter to like the darker side, I think he would be the best pick. But yeah, as you mentioned, it does get darker with like the introduction of the mentors, and like the first time I saw that as a kid, I was like, I don't think I like that. I thought Harry Potter was nice.
I don't think it was the Dementors that got... Actually, no, you're right. That is that. Yeah, go on.
The scene when the train, when the first Dementor appears, I was just like, I didn't think Harry Potter could be scary, but me at that age, I was like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. I was like 9 when this came out. So I was like, Harry Potter, yay! Oh, I don't like...
Yeah, where like stuff like kind of slows down a bit. This stuff starts to like get a little too cold. I'm like, good build up, and then you just see the hand like just reach over to the door. I'm just like,
Also proves that CGI peaked in the 2000s, because when that hand appears, I was like, damn, that ages well. Watching
that
it
looks
now,
too real.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, like even like later on into the series, like Half-Blood Prince, where you see like the dead horse.
Yeah.
And, like only like kids who have experienced death can see these horses.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks real. And that's supposed to be CGI, but it looks real.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that creature, because that's when they introduced Luna Lovegood, and I keep like Mandela affecting myself, because I'm like, when does Luna Lovegood come in? I was sure shit this is the entry, and like when she doesn't appear, I was like, oh. I looked up Google, I was like, oh, she appears in the Order of the Phoenix. Damn, okay.
It happens a little later.
But there are new characters. Like there is, of course, Sirius Black, played by Gary Oldman. I think that's one of my very first exposures to the guy. And like, he would turn out to be one of my favorites.
Same here. But for sure we watched, like, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins before we watched this. But it's just that, like, we were like, oh, that's just Commissioner Gordon. But now we're getting introduced to Gary Oldman, the actor.
Yeah. We're also introduced to a new Professor of the Dark Arts, David Thewlis, Lupin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is probably one of my favorite characters here in, like, the entire franchise.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you got a little bit more lore into it, he is a pretty significant character. So I'm like,
Yeah, we're also given a new Dumbledore by Michael Gambon, because unfortunately Richard Harris passed away like in between the films, so this will be our Dumbledore for the rest of the franchise, actually.
Yeah.
And I think he does a pretty good job. Unfortunately, he also passed away recently, I think, like last year. But yeah, another school year and another year of like, how does Hogwarts not get sued by the parents for safety measures? Like when Harry rides Buckbeak for the first time, I'm like, that's not safe. Okay.
I mean, yeah, there's that. Like, you gotta love other like extracurricular like activities where they're like let's ride a griffin or whatever Buckview was.
Yeah.
A sphinx? I don't know.
I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, neither do I. Anyway, like I was like, really? And then you see the rich kid Malfoy just gets kicked in the chest. Not really kicked in the chest. He gets like scratched.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sir, but at the same time, Hagrid, what the fuck?
What the
it's
fuck,
like
dude?
It's like bringing like a live python to school and being like, hey, you can touch it. You
Yeah,
know?
right. Unfortunately, Harry, since he doesn't have any parental figures, can go to I forgot what you call it, the holiday spot, Hogsmeade, something like that.
Hogsmeade. Yeah. It's like where they get like butterbeer.
Yeah.
By the way, I tried butterbeer. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some gas stations here offer that. Like, I forgot what brand it is. That's pretty good.
They do?
Yeah. Shell does.
What? Butterbeer.
Yeah. You know, I forgot the convenience store of Shell, but like that convenience store, they often sell some brand of butterbeer. It's not bad. It's not like the high-end butterbeer, but it's pretty good. Anyway.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Yeah. But like with a killer loose, like you can't just go wandering about Hogwarts because apparently Sirius Black can sneak in. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that is the weird fucking thing. Yeah, we find out that there's this serial killer named Sirius Black. Sorry,
Yeah.
quotations there. But yeah, like, and he's around the campus.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this isn't like your time to be like, hey, the school shooter is in the premises.
Right.
What? Evacuate the people.
Right.
They're like, nah, I got potions class in 9 a.m. I'm like, all right, cool.
Sure. It's Harry that's most troubled because he was one of the like minions of Voldemort before he got unpowered. So like he's out for revenge, and Harry Potter is in deathly danger because apparently he also betrayed his parents to Voldemort. That's what you learned. And Sirius Black killed Peter Pettigrew, and you're like, oh damn, this guy must be bad. But like, of course, knowing what you know now, you're like I forgot the twist until rewatching it recently. So I was like, oh right, that's a thing. But
Yeah,
I
take
do
note on that, Shyamalan.
exactly. But I do like the class where they think of their greatest fears and they have to make a spell, and Ron thinks of like spiders, and he's like, what if a spider had rollerblades? Wouldn't that make it less scary? And I was like, I don't think so, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, good on Lupin for like giving them that kind of like defensive against the dark arts, because they're like, hey, there's a bit of a Dementor pandemic going around school. Also that, again, I don't know why they're like, hey, let's fix these problems before we start putting kids in danger.
Right?
Yeah, so they're like, Lupin's kind of teaching them like, face your fears, think of something happy, like, or what's the thing that makes you happy, like the most happiest. And then I do like that little foreshadowing when Snape like busts in, and because like clearly the dude took his job.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck you, here's a moon, how does that feel? And people were like, shit.
I got so confused as a kid. I was like, his fear is the moon? Why? Later on you find out.
I remember when I was a kid, I watched this in theaters, and I was just like, fuck, is he a werewolf?
Yeah. Also, Hermione just appears out of nowhere in all of her classes, and you're like, okay, that's just weird. I guess she's just extra early.
No, that's out of character.
Yeah. Well, knowing Hermione, you're just like, of course she's always the first. Why not? And I do like it that Harry Potter decides to do something about his fear of Dementors, and Lupin is the one to train him with the whole Expecto Patronum spell, and you're like, oh, that's cool. That can come in handy someday, or sometime in this movie. But yeah, they also do a good setup, telling the difference between between a werewolf and a person who like actively, willingly transforms into an animal. I forgot the technical term, but like,
was it like a lichen or something like that? Or I forgot what they said as well.
Yeah, it's
but
like,
that's what Sirius Black is.
Yeah, like he can transform into any animal willingly, unlike a werewolf which has no choice but to transform. Harry Potter is also given that map that can let you see everything, where everyone is. I'm like, that's
scary as shit.
Yeah.
By the way, I hated that scene where he's just like in the invisible cloak and he's like following a map, and like he just runs into like Snape.
Yeah, right.
But then you're like, Peter Pettigrew. Like I know that the world of Harry Potter is not a stranger to ghosts.
Right.
But when you see the footsteps going towards him, I'm just like,
right here, just like, what am I about to see? I don't want to see it. Like, it is a useful map, but it is weird to see Peter Pettigrew's footsteps. Even Lupin's like, that's not even possible. He was killed, like only his finger was left. And you're like, god damn, what the fuck did Sirius do to make only his finger remain? And then Harry Potter learns a bombshell that Sirius Black is his godfather. And his godfather betrayed his parents to Voldemort. And you're like, oh shit.
yeah.
Okay.
And it makes everything a little bit more personal to Harry, because he's just like, I have to hunt this like motherfucker down because he's the one who Judased my families. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah. And like, unfortunate because Buckbeak did attack Malfoy, he is sentenced to death. And like, you're like, am I about to see this poor thing be decapitated?
And we kinda do. And I'm like, oh shit, they
Right.
killed the class pet because it bit a rich kid, you know?
I mean, or did it?
like-
Because of a MacGuffin later. You're like, huh.
I know. But then I love that MacGuffin. I like it that they use this MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Because later that day, they pretty much like, after getting like Buckbeak killed,
Yeah.
they head down to the tree. I think Ron ran into with his car the second movie.
Yeah. And
Yeah, then they find like there's like a secret house underneath it.
yeah. Because they're looking for Ron's rat. I forgot his name, but like, he's like, it's our family pet. He's been with us for years. And like, he says the amount of years, and you're like, isn't that the amount of years Sirius Black was sentenced to Azkaban and Peter Pettigrew was killed, and like, lo and behold, like, you bump into Sirius Black and then Lupin intervenes and you're like, what the fuck? Huh?
Offense to the actor, he does an amazing job. I forgot his name.
Timothy Spall, Peter Pettigrew's actor.
Yeah. But just imagine this fucking rat has been in our family for years.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and then he turns out to be this just like disheveled old man. I'm just like, that's. I'm like, if I was Ron, I'm like, man, I got a sister. You know, I don't know what you creeping around and shit.
Right? He's like, I've been a good pet. I'm like, I don't care. You're creepy, man. But yeah, Timothy Spall is great as Peter Pettigrew, and you see, like, you think Sirius Black like is gunning for Harry Potter, and like they're like, wait, just give us a chance. He's like, I've done my waiting, 12 years on it, in Azkaban, and you're like, oh, that's the meme that I remember so fondly. But like,
by the way, like I do like we get a glimpse of what Azkaban is like.
Yeah.
And it's just horrible.
Yeah. It's like, you're like, you know what? I'd rather not be a dark wizard and get captured. I'd rather you Avada Kedavra me on the spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Same here.
But like, Sirius Black doesn't seem to be gunning for Harry. He seems to be gunning for Peter Pettigrew. And you're like, or the rat. You're like, why? And he turns out to be Peter Pettigrew, and you're just like, but if you're not dead, why the fuck is Sirius in prison then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, we find out that he's framed, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Even
he's not the bad guy.
Even Sirius Black, Snape gets involved, and you're like, as a kid, I'm like, my mind is blowing away because I'm like, why does Snape care about Harry Potter so much? And it's important because that plants a seed in your mind of you being like, does Snape care about Harry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like even Snape doesn't know what the hell was happening, and like same with Snape. He's like, hey, the serial killer that betrayed my love is running around school, and he's like, you know, Batmaning the shit out of it.
Yeah.
He gets to it though.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Good on Snape.
Yeah. And then Harry Potter like unarms and blows away Snape, and you're like, oh damn. Not gonna lie, I've been waiting for that. As a kid, I was like, yeah, good on you, Harry. But like, there's a full moon when they go out, so poor Lupin transforms into a werewolf, and he attacks Sirius Black, and you're like, how's this movie gonna end?
Homie, I cannot explain how good this scene was.
Right?
Seeing the moon, and you're like, right, there's fucking werewolves in this movie.
Right?
And you're like, Lupin, why are you acting so strange? And he just turns into this bald, lanky looking werewolf that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's unconventional. Like, you expect a werewolf to look a certain way, but when Lupin transforms, you're like, why does it look like that? Why?
Yeah, you're expecting like Bram Stoker's werewolf, where it kind of has a human face. He's just very hairy and jacked as shit.
Yeah.
This one's a little lanky. When it transforms, it whimpers. I'm like,
Right?
no, I'm good. Kill it. Anybody know any forbidden spells? Please use it.
Please, God. And then, like, you see Sirius is too injured at the moment, and they're surrounded by Dementors, and somebody casts Expecto Patronum, and you see, like, this stag appear out of nowhere, and you're like, isn't that Harry's father? And as a kid, I was like, does that mean he's alive all this time? But no, he's just a random figure for now, and you're like, interesting.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like, oh shit. You kind of want to believe that, hey, there's some Deus Ex Machina kind of thing where Harry's dad just comes in once, like, stuff gets too dire. Or is he alive, or is the ghost protecting Harry? We don't know. There's already a lot of twists for a little, like, 7-year-old boy to understand.
Right? My 9-year-old brain was just like, what? But, like, they already captured Sirius, and, like, it all seems to be done. And you're like, again, as a kid, you're like, but he's not bad. And the guy, the rat, escaped. So how are we going to end this? And Hermione has this MacGuffin. I forgot the technical term again, but, like, it is a pretty unique item. And, like, I think as a kid, it was the first time I was introduced to, like, a MacGuffin used for, like, time travel or, like, time manipulation. And, like, I get why they don't use it often in the Harry Potter world, but again, I'm just like, I wish they kind of used it twice in this franchise. Did
they? Yeah, like, I don't think they ever explained to us, like, did it get destroyed? Did they stop using it? Or, like, did they put it somewhere where no one can... Because this is a very time-breaking thing. And not gonna lie, a lot of people would have been saved if Hermione just kept it.
Right? Like, moving forward, you can be like, hey, Dumbledore, can you just play dead and just give your wand to Voldemort, and we can just figure this out?
Fix this.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Right?
You're gonna see two of me, but just, like, calm down.
Right? Or, like, tell like, Snape, like, I don't think Voldemort, like, I think Voldemort thinks you're sus. You better... be wary of Nagini, just in case it's hungry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, like, wear a snake repellent or something, I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah. Or, save Harry's parents even. Who knows? They never mention.
I don't know how far it can go back.
Yeah.
I don't know why they... How did she get that, like, MacGuffin thing again? It was from Dumbledore?
Alright. Wasn't it from McGonagall?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, playing favoritism, McGonagall. How dare you? Also, rest in peace. The actress who plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, yo, she's already doing well in school.
Right.
You didn't want to give it to, like, Neville or, like, some kid who's having a hard time. Favoritism, right there.
Exactly. But
You're not supposed to do that.
It is a cool device, and you see why certain things happen in the past, and you're like, huh, interesting.
I love that, though. Like, this movie became rewatchable because of this. I mean, not gonna lie, before the MacGuffin got shown,
it
was already kind of rewatchable, because I was like, hey, this could be a great Halloween movie.
Yeah.
But seeing that, you see where, like, Hermione throws like the very weird looking rock at the pot.
Yeah.
You see like little nuances where they're like, hey, this happened a while ago, and like you hear some rustling at the background. You're like, oh, what was that about?
Yeah.
And then they explain it, and I'm just like, that's so fucking cool.
Right? And like the biggest explanation is who saved Harry and Sirius Black at the end, and you're like, huh, that's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
A little depressing too.
Yeah.
Because she's just like, my dad's coming.
Right. It's my dad. Hermione, believe me. And she's like, don't think it's him, dude. I'm so sorry.
And Hermione's like, they dying.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but we get the coolest like scene in this entire movie. Oh, there's a lot of cool scenes here, but there's one of them.
Yeah.
And it's just Harry releasing that like Patronus, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Right. And that's how strong like Harry was.
Yeah.
Or Harry is.
Yeah. I mean, he is a Horcrux, right? If I remember my lore correctly, he is a Horcrux.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they free Sirius Black, and Sirius Black is like before that, he offered Harry a place to stay, and you're like, Harry, I hope you say yes. Because Jesus Christ, your current living condition is not the best. Please.
Yeah. Let me take you away from that horrible family.
All right. But yeah, it all ends well for Harry. He even gets a new broom that's like, I don't know, a Ferrari broom.
Yeah, it's like a Nimbus, like, I don't know, 480, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too good with the nitty gritty of Harry Potter, but like, I enjoy these movies. So we do them for the audience too. But yeah, it ends pretty well, and you're like, I hope things work out well for Harry in the next movie. Yeah, it doesn't, but here's the hoping.
It never does, you know. Like somebody just has to die.
Yeah.
In every Harry Potter movie, but yeah, not gonna lie, this movie is great.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I was like, if Harry Potter was a trilogy, it would have gotten a gold star from here.
Right.
Like, it's just like bangers all throughout. But of course, you had to go through 7 movies. And not gonna lie, I still do like the 7 movies. There are some flaws here and there, but like that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So what would you rate Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
I would rate the Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban, I would say solid 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's not perfect, but at the same time, it's really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, like getting the shift of tone when it came to the Harry Potter world, where back in the day when you were a kid, it's just like a magical place where you have wonder and curiosity, and then they show us the creepy ass intro to a movie where, you know, Harry Potter is just like at the park and there's something stalking him in the darkness.
Yeah.
And then the weird fucking bus comes. I'm like, and the entire movie is just pretty much like a great Halloween movie without like all the jump scares and all that shit.
Yeah.
Lupin is like my favorite part of the movie, but he's also the scariest. Like that shit was great. I love it that we are. If you were alive around the time, you grew up with Harry Potter.
If you were alive around the time, what do you mean?
Sorry, if you were born around that time, my bad. Who knows? Some might be dead. To the dead ones watching. No, okay. But yeah, if you were born around that time, you grew up with Harry Potter, and like as you get to your like 13 to 14 to 15-year-old age,
yeah,
you get this whole like shift in tone. I don't know. I say it's appropriate. I love it, and I love it that it took a very serious like direction.
Yeah.
From this point, and I'm like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I'll also give this a 9. It's a pretty great movie, and I definitely think it's one of the better Harry Potter movies. Not saying that the others are bad, but like it's like a high point, like this, and probably the Goblet of Fire. And from here on out, I do like the shift to like eventually it becoming the epic conclusion that it is, and like it gets darker from here. But the new characters they introduce, the new MacGuffins, and the new mechanics they introduce is all pretty well. And like the fact that Sirius Black is a welcome addition, even though from here he has like what 2 more movies until the end. But he is a great entry into this franchise, and so are the rest of the newcomers. And I can see why people love this movie so much, and like I definitely can see why this franchise is celebrated so much. And hopefully by maybe the end of the year, we'll talk about the other ones, since we are close to the return of Voldemort. So why not? So next year we'll have the final two, and then 2026 we'll have the last two. So
Got you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it all works out well. But yeah, to the audience watching, what's your favorite Harry Potter character? Is it Harry? Is it Hermione? Is it Ron? Is it Lupin? I would have to go with Snape, honestly. Like a good
Snape is
character arc. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. Mad-Eye Moody or Lupin. Like those are really like I know they weren't really fleshed out, but it was still kind of great to see these like actors perform and play these characters. So yeah.
Yeah, that's been our video for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What do you guys think? If you like our stuff, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments, and Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, I'm Zoda's Bosses on TikTok, and Enswolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JomJM_ on Instagram. It is Martic.
And until the next time, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.